Well, Jim, let's get another question here. And this one is one that has become a popular topic. Several people have sent this in. It is, let me go to one of the questions here because, like I said, several have sent in questions. This was sent to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com from Guy in Louisville. Salutations.
Wait a minute, just a guy in Louisville, or that's his name? Guy DePasquale, perhaps?
It's just Guy. I don't know about Guy DePasquale.
Guy Caballero?
Very good. Guy Caballero, you're really on a roll here. Well, let's see if Joe Flaherty here has any questions. Salutations, Jim and Brian. Wanted to get your thoughts on Jericho's comments that MJF's reference to Lex Luger in his promo against Sting got, quote, reverse heat. And he goes on a little bit more there, but there is a quote here, and I'll read this. Jim, apparently Chris Jericho was on the sports media with Richard Deitsch, or Deitsch, I really don't know, podcast. That's the name, Richard D-E-I-T-S-C-H, Deitsch, or Deitsch, one or the other.
Deitsch, he must be a German fellow. Deitsch from Deutschland.
He should call himself Richard Deitsch Clay. That may work, but let's get his question here, or let's get his quote. You heard that? Okay, good.
I heard that one, unfortunately.
Here is Chris Jericho's quote from that show. People at this point know that this is show business. There is only so deep you can go. I think that, for example, there was a line a few weeks ago that MJF used about Lex Luger being in a wheelchair to Sting. I don't think that gets heat. I think it makes people feel uncomfortable. I think it makes people feel bad, and you don't want that. So there's a fine line between using real-life issues and going too inside baseball, where it's like, I don't know what this guy is talking about, but it just doesn't feel right. To me, that is the fine line of a pro wrestling promo. If there's something in the universe that people know, then you can use it because it's been on the show or whatever. If it's something behind the scenes like, well, your dad was a drunk, and it's like, where did that come from? His dad's a drunk? Well, that sucks. My dad was a drunk too. I don't want to watch this show anymore.
Wait a minute. Before you go on, because I know there's more, but let me just interject a few points of order. Number one, then why did they have Adam Page be a fucking drunk for the last year? Trying to get sympathy.
Good point.
When people are going to say, well, my dad was a drunk, so I don't want to watch this fucking guy. I don't want to watch this show anymore, coming from Chris Jericho. Or is this television program that he is referencing not the all-time leader, the king, the undisputed champion in all pro wrestling television programs throughout history, of referring to inside shit that they don't even explain on their own television program? You got to watch YouTube. You got to watch the Hardly Boys comedy show on YouTube. You got to research this stuff. It's easy to Google it, and you know why these people are mad, that type of thing. And now he's just saying, if it's something behind the scenes, then where did that come from? If that's what 15 of those things come out in every one of their programs. Actually, they used to. They're a little bit better these days, since some of these EVPs and creative geniuses have supposedly had their power pulled back. But anyway, that's the... And also, I'll say this one thing, and then you can continue with more of Chris's babbling. A line that he's talking about that MJF used about Lex Luger being in a wheelchair to Sting, I don't think that gets heat. I think it makes people feel uncomfortable. I guarantee you, besides the fact that in this audience knows what shape Lex Luger is in now, because they're the smartest audience in wrestling, and they know he's been appeared at fan fest and events in the wheelchair and etc. And they know he's had health issues.
That's why they reacted to the line.
That's why they reacted to the line. It wasn't inside baseball. But besides that, if you sit 100 television executives down in a room and just say, listen to these two lines and tell me which one you want on your network. Is it one wrestler saying to another wrestler that he's going to put him where a friend of his is in a wheelchair? Or is it one male wrestler in the ring telling a female mixed martial arts fighter on the ramp, yeah, you want to take all 5 of us on, then maybe you can put it on your OnlyFans account? Which of those 100 TV executives would rather have a man making a suggestive gangbang comment to a woman rather than wrestlers talking about injuring each other.
Well, Chris Jericho went on. That's how I feel.
Please do go on.
I don't think it gets more heat. I think it actually gets reverse heat, which has people going, ugh, we know it's a show. It's like watching the new Star Wars movie and someone going, Kylo Ren, your mom in real life had an abortion when she was 16. What does that have to do with Kylo Ren? It's two different things. This is the worst example I've ever heard of fucking something.
We've got him so frazzled he can't form a cogent simile. What does that have to do with the price of eggs in China?
What the fuck?
It's two different things.
Oh, my God.
He doesn't want anybody to get any heat. He doesn't want MJF to get over. He doesn't want anybody else to have clever lines on their promos. He just wants MJF to be his Ginger Rogers and dance the night away.
You can make things seem real with your intentions and the way you say things and the words you use. That makes it real. You give me a Chinese menu, I can do a promo that will make it feel real. So you've got to be careful.
Wait, what? It is real. It's a Chinese menu in a Chinese restaurant. There's almost no way you can make that fake unless you're reading things that are not actually on the menu. Yes, I'll have the Welsh rarebit, please, followed by a heaping spoonful of shut the fuck up.
I'll have the fish frenzy.
That off and an order of fish heads. Well, they might have the fish heads on the China. I'm not sure, depending on what region in China. But yeah, the Chinese menu is going to be. One time I saw a werewolf with a Chinese menu in his hand, walking through the streets of Soho in the rain. He was looking for a place called Lee Ho Foot's, going to get a big dish of beef chow mein.
Fuchs,
whatever.
No, I've been there. It's Fuchs.
I thought it was Foots.
No, Fuchs.
Oh, you been there?
I've been there. It's in London.
Did you see a werewolf with a Chinese menu in his hand?
No, but I did see the Queen with Lon Chaney and Lon Chaney Jr. doing some weird dance down the street.
Ah, they were doing the Werewolf of London.
That's right.
Ahoo. So what else did Jericho say?
That was Yukon John Nord's theme song, by the way, but here's the final quotes here from Jericho. So you've got to be careful. And people sometimes go, oh, I'm going to say this and it's going to get major heat. And people just kind of sit there going, I don't know what he's talking about. So there's a fine line. So there's Chris Jericho, another sage of pro wrestling, another guy who desperately wants everyone to think he's smarter than he is, giving stupid comments and bad advice to young wrestlers.
I am speechless on Chris. Maybe he is getting to be an old conservative old man. In 10 years, he'll be running the kids off his lawn.
Nobody do anything to get heat or do any of these things, but I can do whatever I want. That's kind of what his thing is. By the way, as we move on with the show, as if we couldn't be more snake bitten.
Yes, I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
There's a tractor outside banging into the ground and ripping dirt up, and there's also the maid and her crew here in the house vacuuming, so there's all sorts of noise going on.
Well, it doesn't matter. I can't hear it anyway. You're on the microphone. I can't hear half of what you're saying, but go ahead.
Well, Jim, sometimes people out there need to be heard. Sometimes they have things they need to share and things they have to say, and they need someone to listen to them and talk to them and help them out. And, of course, there's a wonderful service for the listeners of this show.
Yes, and I may need to avail myself of this service if I hear any less of your pitches. But folks, if something is interfering with your happiness and you're unable to hear people close to you, and it's preventing you from achieving your goals of finishing this podcast, then BetterHelp can assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. Professional counseling done securely online with a broad range of expertise and available worldwide. So you don't have to go sit in waiting rooms, expose yourself to contagions and airborne pathogens. You can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. You get timely, thoughtful responses because they're committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches. And if they only could do Skype repair work, they could help me with my mental state right now. But BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. So visit their website and read the testimonials that they post. You've heard so many of the ones that we've read from Cult of Cornette members who say that they significantly improved their life, a chance to communicate with somebody, talk to somebody, or work out their issues instead of sitting there alone by themselves dwelling on them. So go to BetterHelp. That's HELP, betterhelp.com/drive. And join the over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional, and you will get 10% off your first month's services. BetterHelp.com/drive, 10% off your first month's services.
That's right. BetterHelp.
I heard that.
You heard what?
I heard that's right.
That's right.